We have a wonderful slate of new inductees this year. Would all of our new inductees please stand so that we can recognize you? Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 20th Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame induction dinner. I have missed you. I missed you last year in Brandon. Apparently they think I don't leave the border. I do. I would have come to Brandon. It is a pleasure to be here. My name is Kathy Gauthier. I grew up playing two sports, softball and curling, and very quickly it became apparent what I was not that good at, which is why I will never be inducted at this event, so I get to come and induct other people, which is awesome. Curling has been a huge part of my life at a world championship level, Canadian championship level, and now I'm getting to watch the game and call the game on TSN. And this year I had the incredible opportunity to see my son skip a team out of BC, which as a parent is about as good as it gets. We have, thanks. We have two dignitaries with us tonight. From Sioux Valley, Dakota Nation, we have Councilman John Bell and Councilman Rusty Taylor. Where are you, gentlemen? We thank you. And at this time, I would like to call up Sioux Valley, Dakota's fastball member, Ken McKay, to say grace.
Welcome, everyone. I've been asked to make the grace for our dinner this evening, so I'm going to be making my prayer in my own language, in my own Dakota language, so bear with me and think. How to Gashira, Tao Kantaka. I bet you could use Yokpia. Kaya better what Uduta can you take a Yobi Yixaba, the Washaba, the Mokapta. It's a Mitaki Gidana was a usually Yokpia, Wapia. Manipta has a chemitatia. Unshu Kirapa, a better strike of Kira, open in each gap. How ho, Mitaki was. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Enjoy your dinner. The Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame and Museum would like to acknowledge that we live, work, and play on traditional Indigenous territories and treaty lands 1, 2, 3, and 5 across Manitoba. We wish to express our gratitude to Mother Earth and for the resources we are using, including the land, water, and air, and honor and recognize all the First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people who have been living on the land. We welcome all nations to Softball Manitoba. Please welcome our first speaker, President of the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame, Murray Blight.
Thank you, Kathy, and I'll take the mic right off here. First of all, how about a round of applause for our TSN, Kathy Gauthier. I think I did that a couple years ago, and we were talking earlier about her journeys and her responsibilities, and I mean, anybody that's a curling fan and watched the game today, I mean, it's just like softball or fastball or whatever. I mean, the tricks that can be performed and played. But anyway, enough of my remarks, and thank you. So on behalf of the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame directors, we want to welcome you, as Kathy said, to the 20th ceremony. And of course, last year with the COVID, whatever, this year, I'm proud to say, and through our team, and which I'll introduce in a few minutes, you know, tonight, I think there was in excess of 420 people patronized. So give yourself an applause in supporting the event. Again, this evening is an opportunity for we to interact with the inductees individually and players. And you look out in the crowd, and I've been at this podium for a few years now, And I get thrills and excitement about seeing the players and then listening to their accomplishments, and even tonight seeing some embracing one another. They haven't seen one another for probably eons. So, I mean, that's in itself why we want to keep this atmosphere in the event, and in the next year it'll be the 21st and thereafterwards. And hopefully anybody and everybody will assist and participate in the event. I'd like to acknowledge the executive, the team, and if anybody knows me, the word team is together, everyone accomplishes more. And I'm going to say, the team that we have, I'm so proud of their interaction, their involvement to make this event successful in different parts. And then when it's coming to their responsibilities, we had a lot of Zoom meetings. In fact, I think I got an opportunity to see Jenna and Mo for the first time in real life. So, I mean, that's something where, with Zoom and technology today has created a benefit. But anyway, executive for the 22-23 year couldn't be with us tonight is Al Sharp as past president. And I would ask our members to stand up, and if you could just hold your applause until I'm finished. Vice President Adrian Brown. Secretary Les Elchuk. The treasurer, all the responsibility of our funding is Les Newman. Directors, Mo Bray, Don Moxham, Jenna Taylor, Bob Conabear, and Jack Colson. There we go. They put in a number of hours, a number of phone calls, and I said Zoom meetings to make this event and all the other duties that are involved in it. And saying that, the museum, Don is quite involved with the museum, Don Moxham, the history of leagues and teams, Bob Conabear, nomination process, Jana, Mo, Jack are revisiting it. I don't want to say what's going to transpire because we haven't seen what their thoughts and opinions. Marketing, well, you saw where Bob and I were out in the crowd tonight. I'm not shy, so I mean, the worst case scenario you can say is no. But the program took a lot of months, but I mean, I'm very proud to say that it was one of our best programs that we've been able to create in the number of years. The website, and I'm not going to take away this year, and Les Elchuk's going to be coming to the podium just before our first intermission. It's exciting, folks, and we'll listen heartily with them because you're going to be able to see a lot of information that he's been able to prepare. Special thanks to our selection committee, program sponsors, donators, Inland Audio Visio, Victorian Administration. Reminder is that the Softball Hall of Fame annual meeting is going to be September 14th, 7 p.m. at the Winnipeg Victoria Inn. We encourage your participation. In conclusion, congratulations, inductees, and enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Got it. If you haven't bought silent auction tickets, there are just a few left. And so you may want to do that between now and the end of the first intermission because that's when it will close. Anybody here an Edmonton Oilers fan? You're up 4-0 at the end of the first. Being inducted into the Softball Hall of Fame is a very special accomplishment. On page 7 and 8 of your program, you will find a complete list of all of the previous Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame individuals and inductees. At this time, would anyone who has been previously inducted into the Softball Hall of Fame please stand up? Well done. Since our last induction dinner, we have lost several members of our softball community. If you would please now join me in a moment of silence for those that we have lost this last year. Thank you. Events like this do not happen without the support of sponsors. The board would like to take this opportunity to extend their gratitude and appreciation to the sponsors who have contributed to make tonight's banquet a success. Please be sure to look at the advertisements. You've seen the program that Murray's already talked about. They come back with your support. So when you have the opportunity to support those industries, please do. Thank you to all who have supported the Hall of Fame through the purchase of lifetime or annual memberships, as well as your support through other donations. A big thank you also extended to those who have assisted the board tonight in hosting this induction banquet and ceremony. Your continued support enables the Hall of Fame and Museum Board to hold the induction ceremony and operate the museum in Portage la Prairie. Speaking of the museum, it is always looking for pictures of memorabilia of anything related to softball. Equipment, uniforms, jackets, crests, bats, balls, scrapbooks, newspaper clippings, and photographs. New displays will be in place, and the photo gallery continues to expand. Please note that at this time, the museum is not accepting any physical items of memorabilia. Please contact any of the listed Hall of Fame directors for more information. If you would like to commemorate your induction, to the left, and Corey's sitting at the table, Corey wave. Heavy Metal Design has a display of Hall of Fame rings for sale. If you're interested, please come talk to Corey or see her over there to the left after. If you would like to make a financial contribution to the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame, Les Newman is at table 4. He'd be glad to give you a tax receipt or just take your money. Many ask about the nomination process. It's listed on page 6 of the program. Nominations are reviewed by an independent selection committee, which makes the final decision on the individuals and teams that will be inducted each year. Once again, the members of the committee have done an excellent job, and this year the members were Jill Matthews, Smitty Smith, Doug Fraser, Al McPherson, Jim Ney, Ferdy Nielsen, Nelson Phillips, with Les Newman and Jack Colson as facilitators. If you're interested in nominating an individual or a team, you can pick up a nomination form at the back of the room or download a copy from Softball Manitoba's website. The nomination deadline is September 1st. On page 6 of your program, you'll find information on the operation of the Softball Hall of Fame Board. The annual general meeting is scheduled for September 14th right here, and anyone and everyone is invited to attend. The silent auction prizes we've talked about, just a few tickets left. It will be posted, the winners, after the intermission. And next year, the 21st induction ceremony and banquet will be announced shortly, the date and the location. This evening, we are here to formally induct 6 individuals and 3 teams into the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame and Museum. The induction ceremony will be carried out in 2 parts. During the first half, we will induct 3 individuals and 2 teams. And after a short intermission, we will induct the remaining individuals and team. You can read at length about the accomplishments of our inductees in the program, but during the ceremony, we'll attempt to focus on just some key highlights or some stories that maybe are not on the museum plaque. Now, before we begin, we'll take a short intermission so that we can gather the first set of individuals to the front. So if I could get Ralph Nespor, Brandi Chammartin, Debbie Sonnenberg, Moose's Mob Slow Pitch Team Rep, Nick Mancusi, and Sioux Valley Dakotas Fastball Club Rep, Ken McKay, to the right. And when the teams are coming up, if you could sort of put yourself in alphabetical order as much as possible, it will help the chaos. So you've got about a 10-minute break, and then we'll see you back to start. All right, if we could please have on the stage Ralph Nespor, Brandi Chammartin, Debbie Sonnenberg, Moose's Mob Slow Pitch Team Rep, Nick Mancusi, and Sioux Valley Dakotas Fastball Rep, Ken McKay, on the stage, please. Be like Ralph. Come forward. There's Ken. You can sit in any one of the chairs. There you go. I sure will. Hello. Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ralph. Mancusi. All right. All right. So we will begin with the inductions. And many of you may not have seen the awards that are presented to the inductees. The individuals and teams receive a large stained glass award in the shape of the province of Manitoba. Anybody over there, Murray? Where's Murray? Anybody want to hold up what one of the awards are, just so that people can see? So there's the stained glass in the shape of province of Manitoba. They're absolutely spectacular. While each team member receives a smaller stained glass award in the shape of home plate. Murray's got that. These unique awards were created this year for the Hall of Fame by Riverside Stained Glass, Denise Duncan of the PAW. Individuals also receive a certificate to commemorate their induction into the Hall of Fame. In addition, permanent prints and photos and text about the inductees have been produced. If you would like a laminated copy of the print, they can be ordered, and the order forms are available over on the far side. Laminated copies are $38 when picked up or $55 when mailed. We intend to keep this moving, so as we start to talk about a group or an individual, if you want to bring a camera up, just come on up to the front so that you can take a picture of whoever you would like. Murray Blight and board members of the Hall of Fame will be assisting with this awards presentation. We will now begin with the individual inductions. First, the criteria. Any nomination for a long-term accomplishment must cover a minimum of 2 years and the maximum being 6 years. Our inductees will remain on the stage until the presentations are complete. Our first individual for tonight is in the all-around category, and that is Ralph Nespor. Absolutely. Ralph Nespor's involvement in Fastball in Manitoba spans close to 4 decades as a player, coach, and organizer. Whether he was a coach or a player, he left a positive mark on every team he was involved with. Ralph began his fastball career as a 17-year-old in 1972 with the Lac du Bonnet Huskies of the Northeast Fastball League. After moving to Winnipeg, he played 2 years with the Winnipeg Junior Colonels and at the first ever Junior Men's National Championship in 1974, where he hit .300. After the Junior Colonels, he moved up to play with the Winnipeg Colonels of the Western Major Fastball League in 1976. Following his time with the Colonels, he played on teams from Senior A to Intermediate A, the Legion No. 2 Fastball Club, Tom's Transmission, Polo Park Inn, EK Stones, the Winnipeg Penguins, and the Fog of the Adult Mixed Fastball League. Ralph was selected as an All-Star or MVP at every level of fastball he participated in. As a coach, Ralph was involved with both the male and female programs, the South Interlake Phillies, Smitty's Senior Women's Team, Team Manitoba at the 1993 Canada Summer Games, the 1994 Manitoba Alliance, and in the 1989 was a co-founder of the Winnipeg Penguins and Winnipeg Junior Penguins programs. He has played or coached teams that have won 13 provincial championships in every category, from Senior A, B Men's, Senior A Women's, Intermediate A, Adult Mixed, and in minor fastball categories at the Squirt A and Pee Wee A levels. Along with the provincial championships, he has won a bronze medal at the 1985 Intermediate A Western Canadians, a silver medal at the 1990 Senior B Western Canadians, and a silver medal at the Junior Men's Canadian Championships in 1994. Recognition of his skill and dedication to fastball came in 1989 when he won the Softball Manitoba Leo Bouchard Memorial Award as top coach, and in 1999 when he was awarded the Interlake Sport and Development Coach of the Year. Ralph is already inducted in the Hall of Fame as a player with the Winnipeg Colonels team and as a coach of the Manitoba Alliance Junior Men's team. He will now be inducted into the all-around category. There is no question that Ralph Nespor has left his mark on fastball in Manitoba and has been a positive influence on countless people who have watched and participated in the sport. Please join me in welcoming Ralph Nespor into the all-around category in the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame.
everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me now? Okay. Before I start my formal speech, I told my grandkids that I'm going to be on TV. They thought that was pretty cool. So I'm going to say hello to Arabella, Skylar, Scooter, Callie, Charlie, and Bo. My youngest daughter is expecting her second child any day now. So in the sporting world, we have what is referred to as a player to be named later, and possibly future considerations. So I am your grandpa. I would like to congratulate all the inductees. A special shout out to the Klimpkes from Stonewall. To Adrian Brown. I had the pleasure of coaching Adrian in '94, an outstanding ball player. From what I hear, a great coach, but more importantly, he's just a really good young man. And Brownie, I will never forget the phone call I got from you. That meant a lot to me. To my teammates on the Legion 2 Fastball Club, the team that Jack built. It is going to be my privilege to be on stage with you later tonight as we get inducted together into the Hall of Fame. To Larry Dewis and Freddie Nielsen, thank you for nominating me. 50 years ago, Larry and I tried out for the first ever fastball team in Manitoba, the Junior Colonels, and we've been friends ever since. Of those 13 players on that team, the very first team, 7 are now in the Hall of Fame. Larry, Kenny Magura, Jimmy Nicholson, Daryl Parisian, Stan Radomski, and Brian Pallister. It's quite an accomplishment, quite a ball team. As for Ferdy, Ferdy and I got to know each other under somewhat different circumstances. It was a game between the Portage Diamonds and the Winnipeg Penguins at Charlie Krupp. The two teams decided to have a social gathering at third base. And Ferdy happened to walk over in my direction, and after what I would call a one-sided discussion, better judgment prevailed, and we've been friends ever since. To the selection committee, thank you for even considering me, and then for you to vote me in is something that I will always appreciate. My induction has a special meaning for me as I am joining Dad, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2014. Standing here is a very humbling experience. I wouldn't be here without a lot of you out there. You don't get into the Hall of Fame by yourself. I wish I had more time to stand up here and name everyone that has contributed to my induction into the Hall of Fame, but I only have 3 minutes and that would take hours. So, to all the teams I played on, to the coaches I've had, to my teammates, to the teams I've coached, the friends that I've made, and the family that supported me, I thank you. I was fortunate to play with and against some of the best ball players in Manitoba and Canada. I got to coach alongside some of the best coaches in the province, coach some of the best players, both female and male, that ever played the game, and I was able to convince enough parents to let me coach their kids. To every one of the managers that looked after the teams, to those that looked after getting the ball diamonds ready, I thank you. From the Lac du Bonnet Huskies in 1972, where as a 17-year-old I sat on the bench, got to watch our local stars play, to the last team I coached in 2011, and for all the teams in between, I will always look back and say I had the time of my life. To all you Penguins out there, the young ones and the old ones, it is my privilege to be representing you, our team, as a second Penguin behind Terry Wallen to be inducted into the Softball Hall of Fame. To my family, to my sister Cindy, thank you for being you. I know our hero would be very proud of his number 2 son. To my sons-in-law and daughter-in-law, I'm so happy that you are part of my life and part of our family's life. To my kids, thanks for putting up with me all these years. And just to let you know, I couldn't be more proud of each and every one of you, except I need some more grandkids. To my beautiful wife, Donna, who's the real Hall of Famer, there's not much more to say than you have already heard, but you are the best thing that ever happened to me. And just one last thing. After all the years, after all the games, the one constant thing is friendships that we made along the way. They will last a lifetime. Thank you. Take care of yourselves and each other. Have a great night.
Well done. Thank you. First Murray and now you. I guess this thing is done. Our next inductee is into the athlete category, and that is Brandi Chammartin. Brandi Chammartin grew up in Winnipeg and attended Windsor Park Collegiate. She was a multi-sport athlete and was voted Female Athlete of the Year in each of her high school years. Following high school, she attended the University of Manitoba and played varsity basketball for the Bisons. However, it was in the sport of fastball where she really made her mark. Brandi started playing softball at the Wenatchee Community Center. In 1987, she was selected as a shortstop on the Manitoba team that competed at the Canada Games. She then played for the national junior team in 1990 and 1991 and played in the Junior World Championships in Adelaide, Australia. Brandi also played junior fastball with the Obsession team that went on to the Junior Nationals 5 years in a row, winning bronze in 1993, silver in 1994, and gold in 1995. In 1995 and 1996, Brandi played senior ball with the Smitty's team that made it to nationals both years. In 1995, she also played university fastball with Simon Fraser University. From 1993 to 1996, Brandi played on the Canadian national team. She played in a Pan Am and Olympic Games qualifier tournament, the 1995 Pan Am Games in Argentina, and was an alternate for the Canadian Olympic team in 1996. As a shortstop and top batter, Brandi was selected to all-star teams at both Western Canadian and national championships. In 1994, she was awarded the Manitoba Order of Sports Excellence, and in 2019 went into the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame as a member of the Smitty's teams she had played on. Brandi is also a multiple winner of the Olive Little Award. Brandi is currently a middle teacher in Newburgh, Saskatchewan. Please join me in welcoming Brandi Chammartin into the athlete category.
Okay, hello. I didn't prepare anything near as good as Ralph, so maybe that's good, maybe that's bad, I don't know. So first and foremost, this is an honor, so thank everybody very much. I'd like to thank Nick Atkinson for nominating me, for my coaches that I've had over the years, to my parents for everything they've done for me, and that's probably all I have to say. Because I don't know what to say. But thank you to everybody who nominated me and helped make this happen. So thank you.
Your students probably never got off with a short speech like that, eh? Our next inductee, also into the athlete category, is Debbie Sonnenberg. Debbie Sonnenberg, born and raised in Leduc, Alberta, moved to Manitoba in 1992 and began making her mark on women's fastball. In the summer, she pitched for the Winnipeg Obsession, a junior team, and during the off-season from 1991 to 1994, put together an impressive American college career playing for Huntington College in Montgomery, Alabama. During this time, Debbie caught the eye of Softball Canada and pitched for the national team from 1994 to 1996. In 1994, at the World Championships, she pitched a complete game, 1-0 victory over New Zealand that allowed Team Canada to qualify for the Atlantic Summer Game or the Olympic Games in 1996. She also pitched a Pan Am Games qualifier, the Pan Am Games, and the 1996 Olympics. As well as her international career, she continued playing junior and senior fastball in Canada and was on teams that won a total of 17 medals, 6 gold, 5 silver, 6 bronze, including 4 straight gold medals with Winnipeg teams at the Canadian National Championships. During this run, she was a 10-time Canadian All-Star and 5-time Most Valuable Pitcher and threw back-to-back perfect games in the 1992 Junior Canadian Championships. It has been stated that Debbie Sonnenberg was the most dominant pitcher in Canadian women's fastball from 1991 to 1997. Debbie makes her home in Dallas, Georgia, and continues to be involved in the game of fastball. She is a member of the Softball Canada National Pitching Committee and runs pitching instruction camps in the United States. Please join me in welcoming Debbie Sonnenberg into the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame in the athlete category.
Thank you very much. It is with great honor that I accept this award. It is beyond humbling, and I'd like to take a couple minutes to acknowledge some of the people that made this all happen. First of all, thank you to Nick Atkinson for nominating me and the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame Committee for accepting me and approving my membership. Congratulations to all of the newest members, as this is a great day for all of us. And a special congrats to Brandi, as she always had my back for many, many years when I was on the mound. Unbelievable shortstop and made so many great plays. I knew that if we batted first, we would score because nobody could stop her, and I just had to shut down the other side of it. And I had many, many great coaches and teammates, and I want to thank them. Here in Manitoba, Tony Fody was the main reason why I came here from Alberta after competing against the Smitty's Obsession junior team. I was no hired gun. Instead, I was looking for a home and to play. And the Smitty's softball organization was everything to me during the 1990s. The skill level and the passion of the players was unbelievable. And it was truly amazing, and they challenged me to be better every day. And there was no way that I could even imagine reaching those kind of heights without having teammates and coaches that didn't make it all happen. And so thank you to all the teammates and the coaches of Smitty's organization, as this honor is because of you. We have lost way too many such a young age, and I think about them all the time and all the softball moments that we had. And finally, I want to thank my family. I've been blessed to have 2 families that are tremendous support systems. I had my Winnipeg family, Pat and Doug Dobbin, who took this kid in from Leduc and treated me as their 3rd daughter. Every summer, I would travel from Montgomery, Alabama to Winnipeg to play ball. Not many players go to the US and then return back to Canada after a long season that want to play, but I couldn't wait to get back here. When you have the love and the encouragement of people like the Dobbins, it was an easy trip back. And I'm so excited to have Pat and Doug in here tonight, as they would not have made anything possible without them always being there for me. They have been a second family, if not a first, many times. Thank you so much, Pat and Doug. As well, it is my greatest honor to have my parents, Karen and Leroy Sonnenberg, in the room to celebrate this lifelong achievement. It was through their love and support that made me who I am today. They gave me the space to move and travel and do softball, and it was more than just a game to me. And they traveled all across the United States and Canada and chasing my dreams. And every time I got closer to my goals, they remind me that anything was possible. And so thank you, Mom and Dad. I appreciate and I love you very much. And now they get to do the same with my daughter, and she's the final piece of my playing career, and she's the reason why I got that 6th gold medal from the Canadian Championships. She didn't know Mommy the player, she knew Mommy the coach. So I reached out to a friend about playing and came back to Canada to put the cleats on one more time after 5 years of not playing, and went to the Nationals, and it resulted in one of the greatest experiences I've ever had in my career. and I got to share that with my mom and my daughter. And so thank you, Faith, for letting me show you that I can still play the game that I'm truly obsessed about. And I love you all, and thank you very much. And I want to thank everyone and congratulate to all. Keep chasing your wins and encouraging the next generation of softball players to dream big, play hard, and respect the game. Softball defines who I am, what I am, and where I've been. And I eat, breathe, and live softball every day. Not everybody can say that, but I honestly do. This game has been truly amazing, and I'm blessed to have had such a small part of it, which has been so big to me. So thank you to the glory of God for such an incredible journey. God bless and have a great night. Thank you. Well done.
Next is our first team to be inducted tonight. It is the 1994-1999 Moose's Mob Slow Pitch team. I really smiled when I saw this because back in the day when I was Kathy Tardy, I used to get a phone call. Hello. I used to get a phone call from Moose all the time, or Danny or Daryl, saying, come out and play. And I think you guys probably killed my softball dreams because I think I quit after playing with you guys. But I was so happy to see that this team is being honored tonight. Moose's Mob was a co-ed slow pitch softball team created by Nick Mancusi and Denny Ellis to honor the passing of Denny Ellis Sr. Denny Sr.'s name was Moose, and he had spent a lot of time and energy playing and coaching softball and baseball, as well as organizing teams and tournaments. The team started out as a group of family and friends and soon evolved into a very competitive team that had some of the top players in the province on it. While being very successful in local slow pitch tournaments, they used prize money to help fund team expenses. They became very successful at both the provincial and national levels. In 1996, they were second in the province and won bronze at the Nationals in Guelph, Ontario. From 1997 to 1999, they won 3 consecutive provincials and in national play brought home a silver from Amherst, Nova Scotia in 1997, another silver from Nanaimo, BC in 1998, and a gold from London, Ontario in 1999. Many of the team members won individual awards at provincial and national levels, and some are already inducted into the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame with other teams or individuals. Some team members continue to play, coach, and umpire softball, thereby giving an opportunity to countless others to experience playing the game of softball. In addition to being competitive on the diamond, Moose's Mob was known for its enthusiasm and sportsmanship wherever they played. They were true ambassadors for the game of softball and the province of Manitoba. Please join me in welcoming the 1994 to 1999 Moose's Mob Slow Pitch team into the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame in the team category. So we will have the players come up one at a time and walk across the stage. Now, they have a ramp up here for you, but you have to jump off the cliff at the end. So just heads up that there's a step, and then we will get Nick to speak on behalf of the team. So first player, Kevin Cameron. Dam Foos. Congratulations. Daryl Ellis. Denny Ellis. Aaron Fanning. Stephanie Houle. Nick Mancusi. Carol McCabe. Marilyn McClay. Yeah, I know. Terry Tenellier, did I say that already? I was busy hugging somebody. Glenn Butch Tweedy. Pam Brewster Tweedy. Mario Ubel. Sherry Wood. And not attending this evening, but on the list from the team was Bobby Burrell, Sean Brewster, Cindy Melnick. John Brewster's here. Sean Brewster. And I'd like to invite Nick Mancusi to represent the team and say a few words on their behalf.
Thank you. Give that to Denny. That goes to Denny. Denny Ellis. That's his plaque. This is for Denny. This is his team, not my team. Just to tell you the truth, this is the team. The guy that started it. They got it a little backwards. So just so you know, this Denny Ellis, the guy that started all this stuff. So anyway, the speaker took half of my speech away, so I'm going to try and do my best. Thanks anyway. Okay, my name is Nick Mancusi, and I have the honor and privilege to speak on behalf of, well, I guess now, the 2023 Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame team, Moose's Mob. Being one of, sorry, that's garbage. What I cherish most throughout those years is all the men and women we played with and against. The countless hours not only on the diamond, but in the beer gardens. The fundraising, the partying. Most of us spent more time with each other than we did with our own families through those summer months. That's why I consider Moose's Mob my summer family. Also, all the games that we played, not only in the summer, but snow pitch in the winter. Living in Manitoba, we could say that we played in all extremes of the weather. The Frog Follies in St. Pierre-Jolie. It was plus 40, with the humidex probably about plus 50, 60, who knows. In the pouring rain in Pine Falls, pouring rain, we had to play the whole game out after being up by 10 runs. And then in the Waverly Community Club snow pitch tournament, it was minus 40. We ended up playing, it was like minus 50, 60 that night. So if that's not love of baseball, I don't know what is. Watching this team play with all the players coming and going, the men were all great players, but it was the women, let me rephrase that, ladies, that I enjoyed watching most. There was no quit in you, making unbelievable plays every game and cheering like nobody's business. Taking hard hit ground balls, pick them up and throw them out at first, stretching out at first base and dinging it out of the dirt, throwing a complete game shutout, running in and making diving catches from the outfield, making a play at the plate to win a 1-0 semifinal tournament game, hitting that big single or double when we needed it most. And of course, I don't know if they still say this slang, kick burnt. You ladies were awesome. Denny was the coach, the leader, and the mentor. The guys were the backbone and the rock of this team. But the ladies, you were the heart and soul of this team. Throughout all those years, I know in the Canadian National Championships, we made a lot of memories. Guelph, Ontario, losing to Quebec to go to the gold medal game, we thought, well, some of us, that they were a little arrogant and snobby. But at the end, we end up drinking and partying with them the last night of the weekend. Nanaimo, BC, the guys, well, almost all the guys on the team got their heads shaved. And one of the mobsters, sorry to say this, but running on the balcony in his birthday suit. Oh, I'm not going to name no names there. Amherst, Nova Scotia. The tournament organizers issued a bat boy and a bat for every team, but we ended up with a bat boy and his sister, and their parents took the whole team to their home and made us a spaghetti dinner. I've forgotten the boy's name, but the girl's name is Alicia, as she sent me a letter that I still have to this day. London, Ontario. Playing that weekend and winning the gold medal was the pinnacle of the year. And, oh, I need my glasses, sorry. Winning the gold medal of the year, the pinnacle of the year, sorry, and a weight off our shoulders. We finally accomplished what we were set out to do, and the joy and jubilation was so great that no one could take away. So I conclude by saying that those were just a few of the experiences and memories I had. We won 3 provincial championships, a bronze, 2 silvers, and a gold medal. Some of our players won individual awards that was set tonight, and we won so many tournaments. Moose's Mob was synonymous for being one of the top co-ed teams in Manitoba, and we also represented Manitoba with dignity and respect in the Canadian National Championships. I'd like to thank the Lord, my wife sitting there watching me, and I thank all of you, every single one of you, for being a part of this team, a part of your lives. Without all of you, I would not be up here saying these words. I'm proud and humbled and honored I got a chance to play with every one of you. Yo, Mobsters, you're Hall of Famers, and you deserve it. Congratulations to the rest of the inductees tonight, and Moose's Mob would like to thank the organizers and the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Our final team for this half is the Sioux Valley Dakotas Fastball Club. If I could get the team members to all make their way to that side, if all the team could move over. The Sioux Valley Dakota Nation had fastball teams participating in fastball since the 1960s, playing in local leagues and tournaments. Austin McKay had played with teams in the Brandon Commercial Fastball League, and with several young talented players showing interest in the game, decided to form a more competitive team. Before long, the team felt it was ready to make the jump to better ball and join the Brandon Commercial Fastball League in 1981 as the Sioux Valley Dakotas. They continued to play weekend tournaments. The period from 1985 to the early 90s was the period of the team's greatest successes. They won 4 of 5 Brandon Commercial League championships, won 2 Provincial B championships, won an Intermediate A Provincial championship, and represented Manitoba at the Western Canadian Intermediate A's. In addition to provincial competition, the Dakotas played in North American Indian Athletic Association tournaments in Sacramento, California, Reno, Nevada, Invermere, BC, and Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, where they placed 5th out of 58 teams. They also played in an ISC World Tournament in Kimberly, Wisconsin, and captured the Canadian Native Men's Championships on 2 occasions in the early 1990s. A team cannot be successful without skilled and talented players, and over the years, Sioux Valley team members have won countless individual awards at tournaments and championships. The Sioux Valley Dakotas were a dominant fastball team in Manitoba and were true representatives of the level that the game was played at in Western Manitoba and the province as a whole. Please join me in welcoming the Sioux Valley Dakotas into the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame in the team category. So starting with individual players, Ivan Amiot. Amiot, out here. Charles Blackbird. Ernie Blackbird. Martin Blackbird. Terry Bone for Alvin Bone. Candace Bunn for Butch Bunn. Lindsay Jr. Bun. Oscar Bun for Derek Chalmers. Rolly Bun. Ken Chalmers. Rob Chalmers. Stu Chalmers. Everett Cote. Eleanor Elk representing Rick Elk. Ken Elk. Laura Essie for Wally Essie. Joe Halfie. Johnny Happa. Thank you. Nelson Leask. We're taking a pause. Ken McKay, you want to go over there and get yours? Charlie Partridge. Brent Pratt for Clayton Tatchin. James Pratt. Laura Pratt for Stacy Pratt. Claude Shanacampo. Daryl Sinclair. Shannon Sinclair for Eli Tatchin. Jaylene Sue for Frank Sue. Donnie Smoke. Adrian Tatchin. Rodney Tatchin. Dwayne Whitecloud. Tim Whitecloud. He's in Vegas. Okay. Blaine Wamdisaka. Did I get that right? Wamdishka. And Merlin Wamdiska. And not here, but also on the team were Arden Smoke and Brad Wells. I'd now like to invite Ken McKay to accept the award on behalf of the team.
Wow. First of all, I'd like to thank the Manitoba softball for a beautiful evening, and the selection committee for voting us in, and the two people that we like to thank that gave us recognize our talent that the team had, and which we played over the years. They've seen us play ball. First of all, I'd like to thank Bevan Dufell. She nominated us, as well as Brett. Yeah, those are two individuals that nominated the team for this award tonight, and we sincerely thankful for them. Over the years, we had got together as a team, and we didn't know where we were going to be playing and how far we were going to go, but we just played because we enjoyed the game. And it took us to all these different places in the North America, basically. Sacramento, Reno, Oklahoma, Iowa, Michigan, and then all the way from Ontario to Victoria. We enjoyed the ball that much. We had fun, and along the way we won a few championships, which was a bonus. But the whole trip was just amazing. And I can't say a lot for the players that played on our team, just amazing athletes. Most of the time, we play ball in the summer, and the same bunch of players will play hockey in the wintertime. And we're hoping Manitoba Amateur Hockey Association will recognize us one of these days too, because we won the North Central Hockey League twice, senior hockey championship twice. So, and the same bunch of players, and the amazing athletes that we had on our team. And then along the way, we're always thankful for our fans that followed us, our wives and partners that put up with us. And then along the way, it was unfortunate, but I guess that's the way life is. We lost a few of our players in the last 5 years. Some of the big players, the best players that we had on our teams, Frank Sioux, one of the best pitchers in probably North America or Canada. Stacy Pratt, one of the best hitters in our Eli Tatchin, Clayton Tatchin, and Derek Chalmers, and Rick Elk, which is our team trainer. Everybody called him Big Rick, but he was one of our go-to guys when we have a hard time during tournaments or something like that. One of the amazing feats that I have ever seen during our tournament and our ball season was that we played down in Sioux City, Iowa, in a World Softball Council, and I never seen it before. It happened. First 5 guys that went up to bat hit solo home runs. 5 in a row. That's totally amazing feat. And like I said, we had amazing athletes on our team, and I was so glad to be part of that team over the years. And being from a small community of Sioux Valley, a population of 2,000 people, to have a talent base like that, that's totally amazing. And over the years, we played against some of the best ball players in Canada and the U.S. Some of the Canadian pitchers, we won the Canadian men's fastball tournament twice, and we played against some of the best pitchers in the league in Canada. Some of the players like Darren Zach from Six Nations, he was probably one of the best. He's on Team Canada that represented Canada at the World Council. And Lyle Norman and Joey Bass and Earl Lafort, all these guys that we played against, they're amazing pitchers. They could play on any team and be the best pitchers. And we played against these guys. And we had, over the years, we made so many friends from all the tournaments we went to. I'm just, amazed that, I was fortunate enough to be part of that team. And just to wind up, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight and supporting Manitoba softball. And I can't believe that we finally pulled it through, guys. Right on. Thank you.
If we could have one more round of applause for all the inductees in this first half this evening. And just before we take a break, I'd like to invite Les Elchuk up to provide some updates on the website.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for making tonight a success in honoring our inductees. Adam has, on the two screens, has put our main page of the website. And there are two parts to the website that I want to make you aware of. In the upper left-hand corner, there's the little house. That's go back to the home page. So that will always take you back to this home page, and it'll show you all of the information there. The other one that is important, the other part is the magnifying glass in the upper right-hand corner. If you ever want to search for an inductee or team, just type their name, and it will come in a drop-down menu, and you will see the page. The only way we can make this site better is by having you contribute articles and photos and send them to admin@mbshowfm.com. I was thinking that the best way to sell this is when you think of mbshowfm.com is MB as in Manitoba, and Show FM is a new radio station. So if you search that in Google, it'll take you to the site. But the other part of this is don't forget about our museum in Portage, where we have all the memorabilia, all the photos. If you're in the Portage area, take a visit there because it's a great museum that honors softball history in Manitoba. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
We will now take about a 10-minute break before we do the second half, so please enjoy. Okay, at the end. All right, we will begin the second half. If I could please have Harvey Julseth, Adrian Brown, Phyllis and Larry Klimpke, and Greg Bouchard representing Legion 2 Fastball up on stage, please. If you have ordered a laminated copy of the certificate, you can meet with Les Newman at the end of this event. All right, our first induction in this second half is in the all-around category, and it is Adrian Brown. Adrian began playing softball at the age of 9 with the West End Community Club. That was over 40 years ago, and he is still involved in and contributing to the game. In high school, he played with the Daniel McIntyre Macaroons, you did not, the Daniel McIntyre Maroons, and during his last year in high school, began playing for Vendome Hotel in the Winnipeg Men's Fastball League. The team won provincial championships in 1990 and 1991. The team changed to Pete and Marty's and won another provincial in 1993. In 1994, Adrian was asked to play for a startup junior team, the Manitoba Alliance, that went to junior nationals and won a silver medal. He was named All-Star third baseman, the first of many such awards he would receive. Following his junior career, he played with senior teams such as the Manitoba Red Dogs, the Senior Manitoba Alliance, and the Vipers. These teams qualified for Western Canadian Championships, Canadian National Championships, ISC tournaments, and North American Fast Pitch Association Championships. In 1997, he was asked to play for the Kegel Black Knights out of North Dakota. Over the next 9 years, he would play in numerous ISC travel leagues, ISC tournaments, and NAFA tournaments. In 1999, he was an all-world selection in the A division of the NAFA tournament, and in 2003, he was an all-world selection in the AA and Open divisions. At NAFA tournaments, he has played on 3 runner-up teams, and in 2008 was on the NAFA AAA championship team. In 2005, Adrian played in his last ISC tournament before having off-season knee surgery, which led him into his coaching career. He coached the Black Knights from 2006 to 2011, with the team qualifying for 5 ISC tournament berths and 2 NAFA tournaments, winning a AA silver in 2007 and a AAA gold in 2008. In 2011, he coached the Stonewall Phantoms to a men's provincial title and an appearance at the Western Canadians. In 2015, coaching the LaSalle Bullets, the team won a silver at Western Canadians, and in 2017, the team represented Manitoba at Nationals, where he won Coach of the Year. Adrian is still involved in coaching, working with the U13 girls team out of Springfield, and continues to give back to the game by accepting a position as director on the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame board, currently serving as vice president. There is no question that fastball is in his blood. It seems that whenever he was involved with a team, whether as a coach or a player, a lot of winning occurred. Now he is continuing his involvement with the sport by providing opportunities for young people to play the game of fastball. Adrian has already been inducted to the Softball Hall of Fame as a member of the 1994-95 Manitoba Alliance Junior Men's Team and is now inducted into the all-around category this evening. Please join me in welcoming Adrian Brown into the Softball Hall of Fame in the all-around category.
Thanks, Kathy. Thank you very much. I'd like to start the evening off by thanking John Keegle and Eric Lewis for the nomination, as well as the selection committee for the recommendation of this honor. This game has always been about fun for me. So for it to lead to an honor like this is truly amazing. As some of you are aware, with the nomination, you're asked to document your career year by year in order to help the selection committee with their nominees. I really didn't know what kind of investment I had with the game until I started doing this. Playing ball as a kid, high school, men's ball, junior ball, men's ball, then coaching men's, coaching kids. Awfully quickly, it got to 40 years of being involved with this wonderful game, and I've loved every minute of it. Part of the fun is the travel. We've got to see a fair bit of North America with it. Whitehorse, Albuquerque, Victoria, Summerside, just to name a few. Biggest thing this game has brought to my life, though, is the friendships. The people I've had the pleasure of meeting and getting to know and becoming friends with is immeasurable. The majority of my closest friends in life today are due to the game of ball, whether it's hardball, softball, just fun in general. With that, I have a few people I would like to thank, or that some of you might want to blame for me standing up here today. Boyd Van Egelen. Boyd was my high school fastball and football coach. He pushed me to excel. He taught me intensity between the lines. It was never too soon to go all in and commit to the sport. Don't be afraid to make a mistake by trying too hard. No one will ever be upset by effort. He was also the one who introduced me to John Keegle. Brad Bouchard. Brad and I were on different teams growing up. He was Isaac Brock. I was West End. He was General Wolf. I was Sergeant Park. High school, I had the pleasure of formally meeting him and becoming teammates with him at Daniel Mac, home of the Maroons. After high school, Brad was able to get me onto the Vendome Hotel Intermediate Men's team. This also led to tournaments in Fargo and Sioux City with the Asham team. Great part of this sport is the way the veterans take care of the young kids. And by this, I mean part of the tradition of the, oh, Brad, what's the matter, bud? Part of the tradition of the Fargo tournament was the boys would head to the bar on the Saturday night. Well, Brad and I were 18 years old. We were too young to get into the bars, so we were relegated to the hotel. But the veterans took care of us. Shortly before heading out, Randy Dutame stopped by our room with a case of beer. Brad had mentioned that Greg might be bringing a case of beer by the room, so we hid it in the bathroom. Well, shortly after, Reed Burst came in with a case of beer. And Patty Spiring and PK were soon to follow, so now we were sitting with 96 beers in the bathroom before Greg came in with his 12-pack. So, no, it was 12. Yeah, it was a full 12. Yeah. So Brad and I were determined. We filled up the bathtub with all these cans of beer, covered them with ice, and figured, we're Canadians, this is American beer, 108 cans of beer, no problem. Yeah. Well, we woke up about 1:30 in the morning. The ball team was already standing in the room laughing, and there was still about 90 cans of beer left in the tub. Just pure lightweights. A few years after that, though, Brad approached me with a suggestion of joining him to go back to junior to play with the Alliance. It was certainly something I hadn't thought of doing, but I asked him, who's playing? So he said Nathan, Rob Giesbrecht, Kelly Peters, Curtis Rouse, Barry Zurban, a few other guys from Landmark, Winkler, Winnipeg. And I'm thinking to myself, God, I don't even like half those guys. But I figured, I should maybe give this a shot, and I'm sure glad I did. It's probably the best decision I could have made. And those two guys I didn't like are both here tonight, and they're two of the better friends I've got in life today. And that entire team will always have a special place in my heart. Reed and Sheldon Burse. I met them through the Vendome and Asham teams, and right from the start, these two had my attention. The strategy, the attention to detail, the game within the game. Pitchers' tendencies, catchers' tendencies, middle infielders cheating. They showed me the little details the opposition provides is endless. You just need to find it. John Kegel. I met John in 1988. He brought one of his teams up from Fargo for a high school tournament, and in turn, we would send a high school team down to travel to Fargo to play in one of theirs. Later that year, he was putting together a junior team and asked me to be a part of it. Although that situation didn't work, others did, which led me to playing and coaching for teams out of Fargo for 23 years. Without his sponsorships and dedication to the game, most of that wouldn't have been possible. Ralph Nespor. I met Ralph in 1994. He was the coach of our Manitoba Alliance team. He was one of the best coaches I've ever had, but I didn't realize it at the time. He had a team that was put together as some of the most talented junior players in the province. I mean, how hard could it be to coach this team? But that became very clear in 2006 when I started coaching the Black Knights. I realized then that it took a lot of hard work and discipline to manage and coach a team where every player could be a starter. Different egos, different theories, different thought processes to manage. There may not have been any bad lineups, but there was always a lot of second guessing. Fran Giesbrecht, one of the best hitting coaches and swing analysts I've had the opportunity to learn from. Those that know me know that my swing is anything but textbook. Fran figured out very early how to deal with it. Never tried to change it, just simplify things along the way. Working with him and learning how to read swing tendencies is something I was able to benefit from as a catcher, and even more so as a coach. Jen Brown, you were always there to offer encouragement and support through the playing days, especially the rough games or tournaments. You also sacrificed a good part of your ball career to support mine. For that, I thank you. Dina Brown, I'm definitely not standing here today without your support. I'm not going to look at you because I'll probably start crying. So 2005 and 2006 were easy years to walk away from the game. The issues weren't being resolved. Frustration was starting to mount. Eric and John Lewis suggested I change roles to a player coach. I wasn't too keen on it, but you were the one that convinced me to give it a shot. And I'm glad I did. It was a whole new approach to the game, and at that level, the learning curve was steep. The time you put in to support me wasn't unnoticed. I could easily do a 10-minute speech on the sacrifices you alone have made. When 2021 came around, I thought everything was done. Cam Christie asked if I could help out with the U13 girls team. I remember going home and telling Dina, so Cam wants me to help with the girls team. And I started laughing, and she says, why wouldn't you? She had a good point, and she was right. This new challenge has now turned into year 3 with helping teach the skills in the game to kids at the grassroots level. Mom and Dad, there's no place to start and no place to finish in thanking you. The endless games of catch, batting practice, broken windows. I am pretty sure I replaced every window in the house at least once. The neighbor's basement window, I think I replaced the garage window, 3 times before we finally put in plexiglass? So I had to get a paper route so I could afford to keep replacing them. All the coaching and driving all over the province to get me to games and tournaments, lending me money to buy a car to drive myself to games and tournaments. The support and encouragement. I was never forced to play any sport, but you always supported the ones I chose. Believe me, I know I wasn't the easiest kid to raise, but all I can do is offer you a sincere thank you. I'd also like to thank all the friends and family that came out tonight to support me. It truly means the world to me. Thank you very much.
Our final athlete tonight is Harvey Julseth. Harvey Julseth played competitive fastball from 1964 to 1998, a period of 35 years. His primary position was catcher, and he was feared as a batter throughout his career as well. Although he was born in Davidson, Saskatchewan, he grew up in Brandon and began playing fastball with the Brandon 7-Up senior team at the age of 16. Harvey has played in numerous leagues over his career, including the Brandon Major Fastball League, the Manitoba Senior A Fastball League, the Brandon Centennial Fastball League, and the Western Major Fastball League. He has played on teams that have won 12 provincial championships and in 11 Western Canadian championships has brought home 1 gold, 1 silver, and 5 bronze medals. Along the way, there were numerous all-star team selections. The peak of Harvey's career came in 1977 and 1978 when he played in the Western Major Fastball League and with the Brandon Westman Merchants. Both years, he led the team in batting average and earned 6 Player of the Game awards, facing the top pitchers in the country. In 1988, when he turned 40, Harvey began an 11-year run of playing with the Manitoba Masters, who played out of Winnipeg. In addition to winning 9 consecutive provincial championships, the team attended Western Canadians in each of the 11 years that Harvey played with them, bringing home 1 gold and 6 bronze medals. His competitive fastball career came to an end in 1998 when he turned 50. Harvey is already in the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame, being inducted as a member of the Brandon 7-Ups team that was inducted as a team in 2009. Tonight, he's going in as a most deserving athlete. Please join me in welcoming Harvey Julseth into the Hall of Fame.
Wow, this is amazing. I'll keep this short and sweet. I just want to say a big congratulations to all the inductees of the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame. I am grateful to Softball Manitoba, the selection committee, for choosing to induct me this year. It's a big deal, and I'm thrilled to be part of it. I want to give a big thank you to Dave and Jean Shayak, Daryl and Eileen Beamish, Murray Blight, and Ron and Flo Westcott for all the organizing and managing over the years. Also, all my past teammates for being such a great group to play with. We had some great teams. Being a catcher for some of the best pitchers in the world was an incredible experience. I'm grateful for the memories we shared on and off the field. Lastly, I want to thank my family, especially Maureen, for having my back and holding down the fort while I was away playing softball. I couldn't have done it without them. Thanks everyone who helped me get here. And again, to all the inductees, this is an amazing moment and I'll always remember. Thank you.
You don't have to leave. You're not done till we say you're done. The next induction is in the builder category, and it is two builders tonight, Larry and Phyllis Klimpke. Sure, absolutely. The names of Larry and Phyllis Klimpke have become synonymous with top-level girls, women's softball in Manitoba, and specifically in the Interlake area. They formed the first South Interlake Phillies team in 1995 to provide an opportunity for girls in the area to play ball at an elite level. This first team was a U16 team that played out of Quarry Park in Stonewall. Their daughter Erin was on this team, and Larry and Phyllis continued to coach the team from 1995 to 2011, from that U16 level through to senior ball. During this time, the team represented Manitoba at 10 separate Western Canadian championships. As a result of the success of this team, interest in softball grew in other age groups, and soon there were teams playing at the U12, U14, U16, U19, junior, U21, and senior levels, all playing out of the diamonds in Stonewall. Larry and Phyllis were supportive of and dedicated to all the teams, to the point that in 2001, they were coaching 3 different teams. One of those teams, a U14 team, represented Manitoba at Nationals, and another, a U21 team, made it to Western Canadians. In 2011, the Phillies organization and Stonewall hosted the Senior Men's and Women's Western Canadian Championships. The Klimpkes were part of the organizing committee and were coaches of the host women's team. Following the 2011 season, Larry and Phyllis decided to step away from the game. However, the Phillies organization continues to operate today, and in 2015, while hosting the U16 provincials at Quarry Park, Diamond Number 5 was officially named Klimpke Field, home of the Phillies. As a result of their dedication and countless hours spent coaching and organizing teams, literally hundreds of girls and women have had the opportunity to play the game of softball and experience all the competition, training, and lasting friendships that go along with that. Please join me in welcoming Larry and Phyllis Klimpke into the Builder category of the Softball Hall of Fame.
Wow, it's been a great night for Stonewall. Congratulations to Ralph Nespor as induction into his Hall of Fame as well. Ralph was one of our coaches, and we were blessed with his expertise. Thank you to Softball Hall of Fame Committee for selecting and recognizing and presenting us with the Builders Award. This is truly an incredible and very humbling honor. Both of us loved playing ball. We were fortunate our children, Kyle and Aaron, also enjoyed it as much as we did, and we're proud to say that they're here with us tonight with one of our grandchildren, Aubrey. Because they loved playing ball, we got involved with coaching and volunteering with the Stonewall Minor Ball. And then in 1994, Aaron played one season with a team called, I don't know if anybody knows about this team, but the Smitties, Pee Wee U14 team. After the season ended, we thought, why can't we do this out in the Interlake? And so it was that the Phillies were born. Who would have thought that we would be here today? From that initial time, we have been going strong now for almost 30 years. This has been made possible through the commitment of countless individuals, the financial support of businesses, and the town of Stonewall. And not to forget the great diamonds of Quarry Park. We especially want to recognize and acknowledge a few friends who throughout our years of coaching put in tons of hours on and off the diamond. I'd like to thank, or we would like to thank, Lyle Lawrence, Alvin Gregorish, Al Lehman, Brendan and Dennis Woods for your countless hours of helping, volunteering, coaching, and with your numerous skills clinics and all the 100 things that you have done that have made a difference to the Phillies and to us.
Also, thank you to all other coaches, parents, family, and fans that stepped up to help whenever called upon. Your support was remarkable. 17 years working and playing together has led to many stories of "Do you remember when?" Each one always brings smiles and laughter. And then there are the players. Your devotion to the team, hard work, and playing surpassed our expectations. Thank you for choosing to play for the Phillies. You all faithfully have shown the love of the sport. The greatest friendships have been made, and we're very, very happy to be part of them. We now look forward to watching from the bleachers, cheering your kids on. Our last year coaching was in 2011. Since then, there have been other coaches, parents, and players with the same leadership, commitment, and vision. And we are very thankful to all of you for keeping ball alive in the Interlake at different age levels. We are extremely proud of the Phillies' succession. Thanks again, Manitoba Softball, for this incredible honor.
Our final award tonight is a team induction, and that is the 1980 to 1985 Legion 2 Fastball Club. If they could start to make their way over there, please, members, and if you could alphabetize yourself, that would be terrific. The Legion number 2 Fastball Club existed from 1980 to 1985. Through the efforts of Jack Watson and the Royal Canadian Legion Branch number 2, the team was formed with players from 3 different teams: the Empress Cubs, the Chalet Jets, and Tom's Transmission. In 1980 and 81, they played in the Winnipeg Men's Fastball League B Division with moderate success, finishing in the top 4 both years. Changes came in 1982 after the Western Major Fastball League had shut down in 1981. There were now several very skilled fastball players looking to continue playing top-level fastball, and the Legion number 2 Fastball Club were able to pick up a few of them. The team played in the B Division for league play, but moved up to Senior A for provincials. They made it to the finals before losing to the Portage Dodgers. They're all trying to figure out their names and where they fit. The team resumed playing in the Senior B Division in 1983, winning their league championship and moving on to compete in the Senior B Provincials. Hey, B goes before C. Once again, they made it to the finals before losing to the Scarth Merchants. 1984 saw the team move back up to Senior A competition, and this time they achieved their goal of winning a provincial championship. They beat the Winnipeg Internationals in the provincial finals and went on to compete in the Canadian Senior A Championships in Fredericton, New Brunswick. In 1985, the team lost several members of the previous year's championship squad and moved down to play in the Intermediate A level. They were provincial Intermediate A champions and competed at the Senior C Western Canadians in Calgary. In addition to competing in provincial, Western Canadian, and national competition, the Legion 2 Fastball Club had success at some top-level tournaments in the area. For example, in 1983, they won the Grand Forks International. They had lost the first game of the tournament and had to win 10 consecutive games, 7 of them on Sunday to win it, and they did. One of the characteristics of the team was that it had a mix of veteran and younger players. This gave the vets an opportunity to continue playing top-level ball while showing the younger players how to play at that level. Although the Legion number 2 Fastball Club may not have existed for a very long time, when they were playing, they definitely made some noise in Fastball, Manitoba. Please join me in welcoming the Legion 2 Fastball team into the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame in the team category. Yeah, sure does. So we'll start with the individual players again, remembering that there's a cliff off this side of the stage. Brian Bates.
Hang on, Jerry. Hang on, Jerry. Brian. Come on, Batesy. No, Jerry. Jerry, just hang on. Just hang on.
No problem. Once he's done. Greg Bouchard. This is where you run across the stage. Jerry Chammartin. Mike Tubey. Bert Duhamel. Randy Dutame. Roger Forsberg. Wayne Forsey. Susie Johnson for Wayne Jans. Joey Kaspersian. Harry Clausen. Rick Landels. Dale LeClaire. Gord Malinowski. Glenn Nash. Ralph Nespor. Wayne Norman. Wayne Palmer. Daryl Parisian. Ron Pierce. Lloyd Penner. Kenny Porter. Gary Pospisil. Hello. Gord Polton. Bob Riddell. Linda Scott for Randy Scott. Richard Sidorchuk. Smitty Smith for Stan Radomski. Rick Thomas. Dennis Tomlinson. Don Vancott. Terry Wallen. Kevin Watson for Jack Watson. Greg Weeb. Joelle Wilcox for Sandy Spencer. Or I have Laura Spencer now. Brent Williams. Ann Spencer? Ann. Okay, Ann Williams for Brent. Gord Wu. And Dave Winnichuk. And also on that team, Rob Bergen, Jerry Biernartz, Greg Creaser, Brian Kelly, Barry Lutz, Jim Nicholson, Tom Richmond, Steve Wilson, Kevin Wright, Malcolm Brown, Matthew Deegan, and Bob Newell. This is your Legion 2 Fastball Club. I'd now like to invite Greg Bouchard to represent the team.
Hey, Lester.
Get these two bald heads.
You got it. You didn't use the flash, did you? Thank you to the Softball Hall of Fame Committee for selecting our team to enter the Hall of Fame. It's quite an honor. It wouldn't be right to not recognize members of our team who are no longer with us. That list includes Sandy Spencer, Stan Radomski, Randy Scott, Malcolm Brown, Wayne Jans, Rob Bergen, and of course, the creator of the Legion 2 softball team, Jack Watson. When I first put this application in a few years back, my sole goal was to honor Jack. And unfortunately, Jack passed before he deserved his just reward. If you look at the number of bodies that are up here over a 6-year period, that's a hell of a lot of recruiting that had to go on. And exactly, answer that phone call, please. Answer that phone call. It's probably important. But it was a different cast of characters over the 6 years. Our first 2 years, we played a competitive Senior B schedule. We did okay. We were a 500-plus ball team, made it to provincials, finished top 4, top 5. And 82, we thought, okay, we got the team that can win a Senior B provincial championship. So Softball Manitoba, in their infinite wisdom, told our club, no, you've got to play Senior A. So we were very upset with that movement. And to prove them wrong, we lost in the provincial final. Oh yeah, we shoved it up their butt. We lost 3-0 to Portage, who eventually went on to the national championships. But we thought we had a real good shot at a Senior B championship. And again, we played above our weight, and we did okay. 83 was another banner year. We got moved back to Senior B. And as said in the profile, we went down to the annual Grand Forks tournament, lost our first game to a team out of Minot with a pitcher by the name of Ollie Fiddler. And yeah, a lot of people know who Ollie was. And he stuck it in our ear. So in order to win the tournament, we had to run the table, and we did. The temperatures, I heard the Moose's Mob playing in 40 plus and high humidities. If you think about that time of the year in 83, it was really, really warm, and we never left the diamond for 2 days. And a lot of us on the second day, after winning the whole tournament, winning 10 games in a row, we're riding back to Winnipeg, and I can remember driving with Ralph in the back of his car, shaking from sunstroke, because we never left. Thank God they had these canopies to try and keep us, out of the sun as best we could. But we pulled it out, and it was a wonderful weekend. And I don't know if that picture made it onto the screen, but Roger was kind enough to lend it to us. And it's a picture of all of us leaving the Grand Forks complex on knees. Everybody's got a cold beer in their hand. I did, and I don't drink. But it was that warm that day that we all had a beer in our hand. And a lot of the credit for us winning that day, Randy Dutain went off. He just absolutely took the tournament over. And a lot of us remember in the championship game, Randy hit one out of the park and smashed a windshield in the parking lot. It made the news on Grand Forks TV. So we pulled that one out. It was a great tournament. We came back to Manitoba and Winnipeg, continued on our journey for 83, and proceeded to lose in the Senior B provincial finals to Scarth in a hard-fought game, but we came up first loser. 84 was a real awe-inspiring year. We played Senior A, and We had a magnificent run at the provincials to the point that we upset the Winnipeg Internationals 1-0 in the final. And if memory serves me correct, it was like 2 or 3 in the morning when we finally finished because of rain delays or whatever. But we pulled that one off and were able to represent Manitoba at the Senior A National Championships in Fredericton, New Brunswick, which was a real feather in our team's cap. 85, as mentioned in the preamble, a lot of guys moved on separate ways. Jack reassembled and took a team to the Western Canadians in Calgary at the intermediate A level and finished with a bronze medal. So you think about the 6 years that our team was together and sponsored by the Weston Legion, totally because of Jack. Part of our requirement, just so everybody remembers, part of our requirement was to provide security in the parking lot when the Legion closed down. The guys here understand that, but the inside story was we moved what we were doing inside the Legion, socializing, drinking, we moved it to the parking lot to protect everybody's cars. And Jack made damn sure that we did a good job. Not one break-in. We were very good at that. The one thing that Jack, I guess, when he ran this ball club, his rule of thumb was we'll play anybody, anytime, anywhere. And if it meant we got our asses kicked, that was fine because it meant we were getting better. So our trips to Grand Forks, Fargo, Minot, Sioux City, Iowa, after watching Pencor come up to Fargo, and we were just in awe of the talent, and a lot of people in this room know who they are. Jack said, well, we're going to go there. And so we proceeded to go to Sioux City for an early season tournament because we wanted to measure ourselves against the best. If you want to be the best, you got to go beat the best. We didn't, but that's okay. That was okay. It was all to get better. And as I said at the beginning of this this speech, all of us here are brothers in arms because of what Jack Watson put together. And once again, on behalf of our group, our main G bunch of ball players, thank you to the Softball Hall of Fame. Congratulations to all of the fellow inductees and to other members of the Hall of Fame. We thank you. We appreciate it. We are humbled. And again, this one's for Jack. Have a good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, please recognize the inductees in this second half one more time. So this concludes the formal part of the evening. There is a poster board with the numbers. If you have silent auction prizes, you can take a look out. Congratulations once again. Please feel free to stay and visit, and we'll hopefully see you all next year.